This is TechCrunch. Last week, Cloudflare joined a growing list of tech companies, including Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon, that have reported increased revenue alongside massive layoffs, attributing both trends to their use of AI. Cloudflare, which provides internet security and performance services to millions of websites worldwide, announced it was cutting its workforce by around 20%, which equates to 1,100 people. Co-founder and CEO Matthew Prince said this is the first mass layoff in the company's 16-year history. The company is cutting people from all teams and geographies, except for salespeople who carry revenue quotas. The news of the workforce cuts came as the company reported quarterly revenues of $639.8 million, a 34% year-over-year increase, and the highest single quarter in the company's history. However, this was coupled with a loss of $62 million compared with losing $53.2 million in the year-ago quarter. Now, that widening loss, even as revenue surged, highlights a familiar paradox in Cloudflare's story. The company is growing fast, but has yet to turn a consistent profit. But the loss was a smaller percentage of revenue, and the quarter was coupled with a lot of other positive indicators. For instance, Cloudflare reported that it had over $2.5 billion in remaining performance obligations, a year-over-year growth of 34%. RPO is the favorite metric these days to indicate revenue under contract but not yet delivered. Hence, Prince insisted the 20% cuts were not to reduce expenses, but were strictly because of its use of AI. Prince acknowledged that even though Cloudflare has been selling AI-powered products, it was at first cautious about adopting AI itself. Prince said internally the tipping point was last November. At that point, across our teams, we began to see massive productivity gains. Team members that were 2, 10, even 100 times more productive than they had been before. It was like going from a manual to an electric screwdriver, he described. Well, Cloudflare's usage of AI has increased by more than 600% in the last 3 months alone. Prince highlighted the internal use of AI coding, saying that virtually the entire R&D team is now using the company's own Workers platform, a tool that lets developers build and run software directly on Cloudflare's global network, including its vibe coding feature. He also noted that 100% of the code produced this way and deployed for use in Cloudflare's products is now reviewed by autonomous AI agents. But it's not just developers who are using AI internally. He said employees across the company, from engineering to HR to finance to marketing, run thousands of AI agent sessions each day to get their work done. So as a result, these highly productive AI-powered employees require fewer support staff. He said a lot of the support people that provide support behind them, those roles are not going to be the roles that, drive companies going forward. Interestingly, Prince says that Cloudflare will continue to hire people and will continue to invest in them because the people that are embracing these tools are just so much more productive than we'd ever seen before. I'd guess that in 2027, we'll have more employees than we did at any point in 2026. Cloudflare said it ended its first quarter before layoffs with a headcount of about 5,500. The pattern Prince described, deploying AI gains as justification for workforce reductions even during a period of strong revenue growth, is fast becoming a familiar script across the tech industry. Whether that reflects true structural transformation or acts as, convenient cover for cost discipline is a question that investors and employees will be wrestling with for some time to come. When asked by an analyst on the call why the company needed to cut so deeply after such a good quarter, Prince said, "Just because you're fit doesn't mean you can't get fitter." Fictional portrayals of artificial intelligence can have a real effect on AI models. That's according to Anthropic. Last year, the company said that during pre-release tests involving a fictional company, Claude Opus 4 would often try to blackmail engineers to avoid being replaced by another system. Anthropic later published research suggesting that models from other companies had similar issues with agentic misalignment. Apparently, Anthropic has done more work around that behavior, claiming in a post on X, "We believe the original source of the behavior was internet text that portrays AI as evil and interested in self-preservation." Now, the company went into more detail in a blog post stating that since Claude Haiku 4.5, Anthropic's models never engage in blackmail, during testing that is, where previous models would sometimes do so up to 96% of the time. What accounts for the difference? Well, the company said it found that training on documents about Claude's constitution and fictional stories about AIs behaving admirably improve alignment. Related, Anthropic said that it found training to be more effective when it includes the principles underlying aligned behavior, and not just demonstrations of aligned behavior alone. Doing both together appears to be the most effective strategy, according to the company. That's all for now. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.